Hello to one and all, which I'm sure is mostly people who randomly found this on YouTube. My name is Frank. I've never really put together any sort of vacation advice video before, so bear with me. My wife and I recently got to go to the new Perfect Day at Coco Cay, which was fantastic. There's plenty of reviews out about it already, but one thing I had trouble finding any information about is the cabanas, so I wanted to add a little bit to the YouTube universe about the cabanas there. I know it just opened, so minimal information, but I feel like Oasis Lagoon opened several months ago, and I was kind of surprised leading up to my trip that there weren't any information about the Oasis Lagoon cabanas, so I thought I would put together something for everyone out there who is also trying to decide what type of cabana to get or whether they even want one to begin with. First, let's talk briefly about booking a cabana, which I highly recommend you use the cruise planner before you ever even leave, for two main reasons. First, that you can take advantage of any cruise planner sales that are going on to reduce the price, as well as to ensure that you get one, because particularly on days where there's going to be two ships at Coco Cay, I'm sure it's going to be harder and harder to get a cabana for yourself if you wait until the day that you're there. So go ahead and reserve before your cruise, which means using the cruise planner. A second thing worth mentioning is that you should really only book it for one person. What I mean by this, anybody that's ever used a cruise planner before, is anytime you reserve something, it pops up all the people that are in your reservation and says how many people want this item. You really only should put down one person, otherwise you're going to end up reserving more than one cabana. After you get on the ship, you'll be able to give them a list of the people that are allowed to get in the cabana, but only reserve it for one person. Again, or you'll end up paying for two. First, I'm going to talk about the Oasis Lagoon cabana, which is what's on your screen right there. I know the most about these because this is what we reserved. They can run you anywhere from $299 to $569, and they hold a maximum of 8 guests. As far as where they are, of course, they're right next to the Oasis Lagoon, but to be more specific, they are up against the edge of the Oasis Lagoon area that's closest to the beach, closest to the ocean. I believe this is kind of the very beginning of South Beach. The Oasis Lagoon area itself is also fully surrounded by shrubberies to mark it off from the rest of the island, and these cabanas are right up against the shrubberies with some standard lounge chairs in between you and the pool itself. If you're standing along the line of cabanas looking at them and you look to your left, all the way down at the end of the line on the left is the main pool bar, the swim up and walk up pool bar. All the way down to the end of the line to the right is a bathroom, so there's a very close bathroom, very close bar. Speaking of the shrubberies, the bathroom's on the other side of the shrubberies, the beach is on the other side of the shrubberies. Fortunately, some small paths have already formed in between specific bushes to let you be able to walk straight out onto the beach or walk over to that bathroom without any real issue and out needing to go get to one of the main exits of the Oasis Lagoon area. So these are very well positioned with regard to the sun, at least they were in early May. Stays shaded throughout the entire time that we were there. What's inside is a 3-seater couch, 2 chairs, they've got 2 beach loungers that are specifically for you right outside of the cabana, and then they also have this great little dual side table / cooler device where you raise up the top of it to get down to multiple water bottles that are in there for you, or you can just use it as a table. Additionally, this cabana had a ceiling fan in it, which I didn't see in any of the other cabanas, though maybe there were some in the down further, but so we had a ceiling fan, and then over here on the side is a switch to turn the fan on and off, and there's also a regular 110 volt outlet. Again, I didn't see that in any of the other cabanas, but maybe I just missed them. As far as view and noise, again, there are several standard loungers in between you and the pool, so it kind of depends on how many people decide to use those loungers as to what you're looking at, chairs versus people versus pool. And the loudness noise level is probably also kind of depends on how many people are between you and the pool, which also partially depends on whether you're a single ship day or a double ship day. Here are the Chill Island cabanas, and they have the same price and guest maximum as an Oasis Lagoon cabana, so it can run you anywhere from $299 to $569, and they have a maximum of 8 guests. They're in the same location as the cabanas have always been at Coco Cay, and that is to say a small little peninsula off to themselves, just to the edge of one of the coves that is now Chill Island. It is a bit of a hike. They're kind of, again, off by themselves, so to get out to them, as well as if you want to go back to, say, the water park, you're going to have a bit of a walk. Basically, you have to cross the whole island to get to the water park. They do have both a bar and a bathroom right outside the cabana area, and Chill Grill is not far away in order to go get extra food if you want it. Notice that they're pretty darn similar to the Oasis Lagoon cabanas. In particular, it looks like they did add a couple and more than what used to be here, and the ones that they've added are exactly the same as the Oasis Lagoon Cabanas. However, there are some that have been there a little bit longer and seem to have a small little porch area. They have the same basic furniture with a 3-seater couch, 2 chairs, 2 beach loungers, and the same side table cooler item. And but one advantage is that since they're kind of off by themselves, is they're potentially quieter. They also definitely have a better view because you're looking out over this cove that is Chill Island, as opposed to looking out over pool loungers in the pool. Finally, we have the Thrill Water Park Cabanas. These are a bit more expensive. They can run you anywhere from $499 to $869. They can also only hold a max of 6 guests instead of 8. But the perk that you get for buying this cabana is that anyone that's allowed to get in the cabana has included water park admission as part of the price of the cabana, so you save a little money there. These are obviously located within the water park, but there's actually several of them. There's about 20 of them, so they're kind of spread out across 3 main areas. They're along the edges of the wave pool, then there's a couple of them running along the edge of the exit to the Daredevil's Peak water slide, and then also a few along the splash pool, so to speak, at the base of Splash Summit. They are different from the others in that these are not made out of wood. These are more like nice tents, but otherwise they're about the same, with the same 3-seater couch, 2 chairs, and they definitely have the same cooler side table item. I guess as far as like view and noise level, that depends largely on which one you get, since there's so many of them and they're all scattered throughout the park. But obviously they're going to be a bit louder than, particularly the Chill Island ones are definitely going to be louder than those, probably louder than the pool one as well. And your view depends on which one you get as well. Now, as far as our overall experience with the cabana, we loved having one. We've previously reserved a South Beach bungalow, and really in both cases we love having our own specific area where we can kind of have our home base and all of our stuff. And in particular, I am not much of one that likes to sit out in the sun as much because I burn really easily. So this is a very reliable source of shade where my wife can sit out in the sun if she wants, and I can sit in the shade, and we're both very happy. The cabanas also do have a cabana attendant that's worth mentioning. This person will kind of check you in at the beginning of the day and will check in periodically to see if there's anything that you need, and then they also will come by to get your lunch order at around 11 o'clock. They'll come and ask you what you want for lunch, and you're allowed to order anything from the menus from the Snack Shack, which I have on the screen for you right there if you want to pause and look at the menu. As far as drinks, there's also multiple drink waiters walking around. We never had to wait very long to get drinks. Honestly, we had to tell them no, we're okay, or no, we already have some, way more often than we were waiting for somebody to come by for drinks. And even on those rare occasions, the pool bar was right nearby. The Chill Island Cabanas, you've got a bar right outside the area, so they really don't have to wait very long for drinks at all. Also worth mentioning, as you probably already know, that your drink package from the ship will work on Perfect Day at Coco Cay, so that's great. If you've already purchased the package, then your drinks are already included. One thing that's worth mentioning that's very different from our previous experience with the bungalows is that you can't actually pick which cabana you want. Previously, with our bungalow reservation, we went to guest services as soon as we got on the ship and had to pick which of the bungalows we wanted. In this case, we did that, but they didn't let us pick the cabana. They didn't let us go ahead and give them a list of names of people who are going to be allowed in, but the cabanas were picked for you, and you just go out on once you get to Coco Cay, and there are signs on each cabana that say which party is allowed in that cabana, and I'm sure you've seen that on many of the pictures that I've put up here. But so just be aware of that. With these cabanas, you don't get to pick, the ship staff picks and assigns it to you. One last thing I'd like to mention, speaking of the bungalows, is that the bungalows and daybeds on South Beach are still available, or at least they were as of early May. Bungalow will run you about $244 and can have a maximum of 6 guests, and a daybed will run you about $149 and will have a maximum of 4 guests. These prices, of course, can vary with ship and sailing, as with everything else. I was actually kind of surprised to see these still there, because I looked for them on my cruise planner since we had a bungalow before and loved it, and I could not find it. My speculation as to where it was is on the cruise planner. There's a new section specifically for Perfect Day at Coco Cay, and I didn't find it on there, but maybe if I had gone just to the general shore excursions section for our day at Coco Cay, they would have been there. These are a great option. They're often an area on their own in South Beach, so it is a bit of a hike to get there, but they're very quiet. They have a great view of just open ocean from South Beach, and we loved our time on the bungalow on our last visit. One difference between these and the Cabanas, assuming that the bungalow experience is the same, is that there's no specific attendant that's going to check on you every so often. However, you do go ahead and order lunch while you're still on the ship at guest services, and they'll deliver lunch to you, so you don't necessarily have to walk over to one of the lunch venues, but there's no attendant that's going to be coming to check on you every so often. There are drink waiters walking around and a bar specifically for the bungalow and daybed area, so there are drinks close by, but again, no specific attendant. So that is just an option to remember. I do kind of speculate that these might be going away. Again, that's pure speculation, but it's based off of they're not anywhere on the Perfect Day of Coco Cay map, and I feel like this is exactly where they're about to start construction on the Coco Beach Club, so these might be disappearing, and it might be why it's hard to find them on the planner. But at least for now, they're still a great option if you want something a little cheaper and don't care as much about having an attendant. So that's it. That's my general summary of the Cabanas and the bungalows now, and a brief review. I hope that's helpful to everyone as far as anyone also trying to decide what sort of cabana to get or whether they want to get one at all. And yeah, everybody have a great day. I hope you get to go to Coco Cay soon, because it is great and you will love it.